Hi everyone, it's QuickyBaby and welcome back to World of Tanks, and Wargaming just announced the Polar Challenge, which is going to be starting this Friday, which is an opportunity for you to be able to get the Object 274A for up to free, depending on how much time you have to invest over the 10-day period that the mission marathon will be happening. So, firstly, if you're new to the channel or you've never heard of one of Wargaming's challenges before, let me break it down for you as easily as I can, as quickly as I can. So Mission Marathon is 10 stages. Each stage that you manage to complete gets progressively harder and harder and harder. And for every stage that you complete, you get nice rewards, and you also importantly get a 10% discount off the vehicle. Therefore, if you complete all 10 stages, you get a 100% discount off a full-blooded premium Soviet medium tank, which I will be reviewing on the channel this Friday, so stay tuned if you want to be ready for that. However, also, if you're thinking, oh, this is going to be easy, I should easily be able to achieve this challenge, wrong. I'm going to be letting you know exactly how long you will have to spend, depending on how much of an impactful player you are, and also how much experience you get from each one of your games. And importantly, let me just clarify this for all of you. The final 3 stages usually take just as long as the entirety of the first 7 stages combined. And so if you start the challenge, you're thinking, oh, this is easy, I've already completed the first 3 stages on the first day. Oh, I'm going to take a couple of days off and then, I'll just put in a bigger session. Wrong. You have to be absolutely ruthless with how you invest time, or shall I say, plan your time into this schedule if you want to complete the Polar Challenge. All right, so in true QuickyBaby fashion, I've decided to break down exactly how long I think it's going to take you onto an Excel spreadsheet. So let me try and explain this. So as you can see here, down the G line here, this is the grind line. I haven't meant to put it on the G key because it's the grind line, but that's absolutely fantastic. I love that. So stage 1's only 2,000 experience to be able to complete it, but stage 10 is actually 50,000 experience, showing you how progressively harder and harder and harder it gets. And in fact, to be able to complete the first 7 stages, it's 127,000 experience, and the final 3 stages is 127,000 experience as well. So exactly halfway once you have completed stage 7 if you're grinding. Now you're going to have to play tier 6 plus tanks, and importantly, you're going to have to finish in the top 10 of experience. So that means that the worst players, who usually don't finish in the top 10 of experience, have got a very, very, very hard time to be able to complete this mission marathon. Whereas the better players, who are consistently finishing in the top 10, actually have a much easier time. So this means that it's really unfair with how long it takes the better players to be able to get through this mission marathon. It's so much easier for them. And on top of this isn't the only way to be able to grind. You can also do what they call the route for mastery, where instead of playing tiers 6 plus, you can play only tier 9 and tier 10 tanks. And I highlight that this challenge, you're actually going to be able to play your tier 9 vehicles, which is very cool if you're trying to be able to get through some tier 9s and get more tier 10s. Now you're going to have to complete some extraordinarily hard tasks, some a lot easier ones. So firstly, a high caliber medal, and you're going to have to do that at tier 9 or tier 10, meaning you're going to have to get 20% of your team's damage. Now to be able to get a high caliber medal, it's a lot easier when you're inside a nice matchup. So your tier 10 tank versus tier 8s. Tier 8s mean there's less health. Less health means you have to do less damage because you need to do 20% of the entire health of the enemy team to be able to get the high caliber medal in the first place. So to all intents and purposes, if a tier 10 tank has roughly about 2,000 hit points average, if you're including the artillery, 2,000 times 15 is going to be 30,000 hit points on the enemy team. And for you to be able to get 20%, that means you need to do 6,000 damage to be able to get a high caliber medal. Now, obviously, you could do this at tier 10, or you could try and do this at tier 9. If you do this at tier 9 and you get into a tier 10 game, good luck to you. That's going to be very challenging. But if you're a tier 9 tank and you get against tier 7s, ooh, that's where you've got to rub your hands with glee. And that's important because you're going to have to do it later on at stage 5 4 times if you want to be able to achieve this. So I've estimated how long I think it will take me and how many games it will take me to be able to complete this mission marathon through the mastery route on my main account. And I think in total, I'm going to have to play 287 games in tier 9 and tier 10 tanks, taking me 33.5 hours in total over the 10 days. But keep in mind, that's me tryharding. That's me playing at my best. Not everybody thinks that they're going to be top of their team on damage 1 in 2 games, which is what I'm estimating for myself, which is why it's actually quite easy for the better players with the top tier tanks to be able to get through this. But it's very unfair because there's going to be a lot of very aggressive and also very good players out there trying to contest for those top spots. So expect a lot of tryhards like myself to be out there. However, I'm not going to be playing on my main account. Spoilers, I'm going to be undertaking this challenge on my free-to-play account to try and make some progress there. So I'm going to be seeing if I can try and target some of the missions on my free-to-play account, but more or less I'm going to be doing the grind. Now, I average on my free-to-play account 600 base experience every single game. And let me clarify, with the grind, this is not experience with a premium account. This is not experience with your daily doubles. This is not experience with your 5x games. This is base experience. I.e., when you look at the post-game stats, the number that shows up down the player results panel, not the one that's flashed on the main bar. Accordingly, I estimate that it's going to take me 48 hours, and I'm going to have to play 484 games to be able to complete this marathon. And that is estimating that I'm going to finish in the top 10, 7 out of 8 games. And that's something very important to consider. And I've taken that into account when I'm going to be giving you these next estimates. So a lot of you might be thinking, well, what happens if I'm not a QuickyBaby inside World of Tanks, even playing on a free-to-play account? How long is this mission marathon actually going to take me? Well, this is where I've estimated it for you. If you're a player who gets 100 average experience in World of Tanks, I think you're probably only finishing in the top 10, at best 1 in 2 games. So that means that it's going to take you 5,080 games to be able to complete this mission marathon. That is 508 games of World of Tanks per day, which I estimate, if you're playing 10 games an hour, is going to take you 50 hours every day to be able to complete this mission marathon. Yeah, I don't think that's possible. If you average 200 base experience, I think it's going to take you 23 hours every day. Let's bump it up a little bit now. A more manageable total, 400 base experience every single game. I think it's going to take those kind of players 10 hours to be able to complete. And that's with me estimating that a player who gets 400 base experience is finishing in the top 10 roughly about 2/3 of the time. What happens if you're a really good player and you're playing like I do on my main account, however, and you're getting 800 base experience on average in every game that you play? Well, if you grind, it's going to take you 37 hours, and that's with me estimating that you're going to finish in the top 10 about 85% of the time, meaning that you'll have to play for 3.74 hours every single day to be able to achieve this mission marathon. Now, the amount of experience that you're going to have to grind, 250,000 over the 10-day period, actually means that the Object 274A challenge is the hardest in many years. It's even harder than the Renegade challenge. And it's 3.25% harder than the last challenge that was available, the CS52 lease. And so be warned, while you're getting a Soviet premium medium tank, this is also going to be the hardest challenge that has ever been inside World of Tanks. So one new thing that I wanted to do for this video is to let you know exactly how much total time it would take you if you wanted to target completing a certain number of stages, because there'll be quite a few of you out there who maybe want to try and complete 5 stages so you can buy the bundle for about 30 euros, but you don't have the 50 hours that it's going to be able to take to do the harder stages, right? And so for me, on my free-to-play account, where I average about 600 base experience per game, to complete the first 5 stages, it's going to take me 12 hours total. To complete the first 7 stages, 24 hours total. But as you can see, it gets progressively harder and harder and harder. And I feel like targeting 24 hours of World of Tanks over a 10-day period, it's a lot easier than trying to play 50 hours of World of Tanks. In addition to this, one thing that I wanted to highlight for this video was just how many euros you're saving per hour that you invest in the game. And so I would recommend everyone to complete stage 1 if you want to buy the bundle, because you'll effectively be saving 15 euros per hour for your time investment. We can see stage 2 is worth about 6 euros per hour, stage 4, 3.5, stage 5, just under 2, stage 6, €1 an hour, same as 7 and 8. But really, you definitely start to see the point of diminishing returns as the wargaming are effectively increasing the difficulty to try and make you just give up and get your credit card out for them. So as I always highlight, the only true way to be able to approach these mission marathons is with discipline. Know exactly how long it's going to take you to complete each of the stages, and use my estimates that I've given you here to be able to guess how, well, not guess, but to estimate how long it's going to take you. Plan it out. Plan when you're going to pop those premium days as well. One of my top tips is to actually try to avoid completing a stage until the start of the following day, so you can activate that premium day there and then have maybe a big play session with all the perks of having a premium account. Plot it all out. Know exactly how long it's going to take you, and be disciplined with your approach. I'm sorry to make it sound like it's no longer a game, But when a company is asking you to invest 50 hours of your time, and that's if you're a very decent player of the game over a 10-day period, let's be honest, it's becoming more than a part-time job. As always, I want to remind all of you out there to be careful about when you try to approach something that was a release or a game or a pastime and you start to play it too much. A lot of players can become burnt out. A lot of people can start to resent the thing that was fun for them in the first place. So be responsible with your time. And for goodness sake, if you are a student out there and you've got some really important assignments to be able to hand in before Christmas, where you want to have a good old socially distanced holiday, get those done. They're far more important. At the end of the day, these are pixels inside a video game. And while I'm not trying to undermine that this is a fantastic opportunity, especially for the free-to-play players out there, to be able to get a tank that they're going to be able to keep forever, considering how many vehicles are in the game. Think about what you could have achieved with those 50 hours that they're asking for you to invest if you had put them in some other aspect of your life. And on that note, I'm begrudgingly going to have to accept this challenge. I'm going to be trying to smash this out on my free-to-play account starting from Friday. And I say this in a very begrudging tone because I just managed to get 60 in World of Warcraft Shadowlands, which just came out, and I kind of wanted to spend some more time there. But you know what? Wargaming's come knocking. So if any of you are going to be attempting this and looking for some background noise as well, or alternatively like a grind buddy, if you want to call me that, no, let's not go there. Please do not call me a grind buddy, okay? Then I'm going to be streaming as well, so come along. Anyway, ladies and gents, boys and girls, that's it for today. That is the breakdown of the Polar Challenge for the Object 274A. Hopefully this video was useful and I did the hard work so you don't have to. And if you appreciate that, make sure you give this video a like. But if you thought that my analysis was garbage and you hated the video, well, give it a thumbs down. And let me know in the comments whether you are going to be undertaking the Polar Challenge. How many stages are you going to try to complete, or are you just too busy at this time of year to be able to get anything done? You're going to be giving this one a skip. And make sure you stay tuned to the channel, as I mentioned earlier, as my Object 274A full tank review will be arriving this Friday. And as always, thank you so much for watching. You've been epic, and hopefully I'll see you soon.